What's good, YouTube? Elite C here. I know you all forgot that yesterday was Cyber Monday. That's how much shit is going on. And plus, there's no point of doing Cyber Monday when corporations / websites already participate in it before and do it pre-Black Friday. So now it's Black Month / Cyber Month 2025. And the sales with inflation, it's still atrocious. And 2025 is, you can't even tell me one thing fun that happened this year. Black Friday, they actually got their name from the 1950s. Philadelphia police named it that because all the chaos was happening on Friday when everyone would go out and shopping. So the police actually came up with that name in the 1950s. And Cyber Monday, that shit didn't start till the 2005, 2005. And again, that was later when the internet came around. So Black Friday, it's always been hectic. People fighting over items. So Cyber Monday technically is safer. But like I said, again, websites are now participating in Black Friday. It's starting so early that when Friday actually comes, they're all out. Same with Halloween, Christmas, all these traditions, they start so early. If you wait until October to get a costume, it's going to be out of stock. You have to start in August for Halloween. And if you really want to get into it, you can start as early as May and you'll be safe. Because it goes out quick. So due to all this shit going on, you completely forgot about these traditions going on. Cyber Monday just passed. Nobody's themselves anymore. Everyone wants to fit in, do the same thing. You have to stay raw, like G-Star Raw. That's how they became a remunerative industry. I like people for who they are, one by one, not in crews. Because as soon as they get into the crew, they sacrifice themselves and then all become mutually same ego. And then they already lost their original ego. And that's how you'll have other people when you get around another person. When the crew is not around, they'll say, oh yeah, they're like this, etc. And then you're from the other crew, you're like, oh wow, they're nothing like that. So that's how they already gave themselves for the group and changed up acting different around who they're around. No, it's not authentic. That's why one by one, knowing people, that's the best. Instead of getting into big groups. And as soon as big groups get together, and not gonna say it's going to happen, but it happens enough that's safe to say there's a high chance that that crew's not gonna last. Just how that shit works. High chance. Not saying it's guaranteed, but it's safe to say it's likely that it's gonna disintegrate. So Cyber Monday. And also too, corporations are getting rich. Removing desires, remove suffering. The more you try control, the more you lose control. The more you own, the more the system owns you. Yeah, those top 3 quotes, they're very true. If you don't believe me, try it out yourself and you'll see. Those 2 shows are very true. Because you're constantly trying to desiring things that you don't have. Oh yeah, and when you want nothing, you have everything. That's the 4th one, When you want nothing, you have everything. Those top 4 quotes. Don't believe me, try it out yourself. Because when you're for desires, you constantly have desires, you're never gonna be happy. Constantly pursuing something else after something else. And the more you own, they own you. Of course, the system owns you. Next up is Christmas. That's gonna be different. Trust me, watch this, wait, and you'll see how Christmas is gonna be different. So without society's flowing, everything's changed. Like this new generation, they don't know anything about what we did growing up. Like tackle football with no gear in the grass, that shit obsolete. They don't know anything about that. But if you know, I'm talking about tackle football, no gear in the grass, growing up as a kid. Just Gen Alpha, they don't know anything about that. It's obsolete. It's completely out of the system. Going outside, pick up basketball. The only pickup basketball / football these kids are playing is on an Xbox or PlayStation. Chronically online. Same thing for clubs. Gen Z, when you go in the club versus back when Gen Xers were young and they went to a club. Gen Z constantly staring at their phone, but Gen Xers, they were actually social interaction. But Gen Z club, it's just dead. Me personally, I don't go to clubs, but I've done research and analyze on how it operates. And that shit rudimentary. Yeah, go on TikTok and all you gotta do is look up Gen Z club versus Gen X club. And you can even go to baby boomer club. Yeah, that far. Same thing with trends. People are so quick to hop on trends. They don't do any research nor due diligence of how it started. They hear something, all right, I'm rocking with that. And the next thing you know, they spited themselves because they didn't know that this had X, Y, and Z, which was not suitable for them. So that's why I always do research. Just because you hear something or see it doesn't mean that at all. Because these things go around, they're pervasive, and that's how stereotypes develop and rumors. But once you actually look it up and get into detail, you realize it's actually something totally different. And most people do not know that. They just go off what they hear and what they see. So thoroughly analyze it. So whenever there's something pervasive going around and it has something vile in it, and I already did my due diligence, and meanwhile the others who didn't, I kick my feet up and relax and watch cretinous people sabotage themselves. I get a good laugh out of it. And you could have analyzed it before, but no, you're just hopping off, going by what you hear. And so that's that. It's on you. That's why I always do research so you can prevent that from happening. Meanwhile, I'm the neutral type person. I stay neutral. Remaining neutral attracts people, actually, because when you're constantly trying to force people to rock with you, it's not gonna work. Because you're constantly trying. You're trying too hard. You just gotta remain neutral and let flow, and it will all fall into place. For instance, back in high school, there was these students, they were speaking Spanish, and she didn't know Spanish, and she was asking them, what are you saying? And they weren't telling her. And then the teacher said to them, and I was sitting, said out loud, if I knew Spanish, I would tell the teacher what it meant. I don't know Spanish either, so I don't know what they're saying. But again, remain neutral. Gives you credit. I loathe division. I do not rock with division at all. Like, remain neutral. And it attracts people. And that's how people will want to rock with you. So, and again, all this division just brings conflict. So, and plus, when you remain neutral, you're not for one side or another side. So therefore, when you have people together and you're neutral with them, you're not putting all these expectations and expecting all this out of them. And versus when you're divided and with the group at all times, you're constantly expecting this, and if you don't get it, you're going to be disappointed. You're expecting all sorts of things out of different people. But when you remain neutral, you don't have those expectations, so you don't be concerned about that. So then you don't have any expectations for people. You're just there. So then you don't be disappointed or let down when something doesn't go your way. So just like a judge, they're not for the criminal, not for the prosecutor, right in the middle, remaining neutral. Listen to both sides, take that in consideration, create a verdict. Judge is the best example for that. Same with the referee in sports. Make you stay neutral. They're being fair. Judges are my best friend. I love remaining neutral. Too much conflict going on when you have division. Oh yeah, I want to rock with this crew. Oh, I want this. No. Just stay your authentic self. Let it fall into place naturally. Don't force it. Just let it come in. If it's for you, it'll come. If it's not for you, it's not going to come. So just remain neutral and see what your outcome is. And plus, back to the thing, not doing research on trends, then something happens and you don't know. Like, oh, I just sabotaged myself. My whole life, people has always classified me as the chill, just neutral type of guy. So, and like, you know what they say, if everyone's saying something, then it most likely is true. And it is. I agree with them 100%. Not with the crew. I remain out in my own lane, setting my own trends, doing my own thing, creating my own origin. The same principle with those guys that beef over hoods. Whose hood is who? You know how sophomoric that shit is? First of all, none of you own either hoods. That shit is owned by the HOA / landlord. So none of you guys own it. And especially if it's Section 8, you definitely don't own that. That's owned by federal / local government and funded by them. So all that just bullshit. You're fucking 23 years old beefing over who owns hoods when none of you own either one. So by the HOA / landlord and funded by the federal / local government. Grown ass men, 23 fucking years old, arguing over who owns whose hood. And then yet their dumbass wonders why they can't get along. Because they're the problem. All that sophomoric, the most sophomoric adults of all time, arguing over frivolous, trivial shit. Although it's 2025, we're living in an apathetic society, which is a good thing. Nobody fucking cares what you do, so you don't have to be scared and anxious to do something. Just go ahead and fucking do it. Nobody cares. These people got lives. Unemployment's at an all-time high. People are dropping $120K on college, coming out, still can't find a job, still unemployed. Nobody fucking cares what you do. Just go ahead and do it. No need to be scared. Everyone's focused on themselves. They all have lives. Don't have time to be focused on what you're doing. So just go ahead and do your shit. And that's what a lot of people lack, that everyone's thinking about them when they're not. Honestly, you're thinking about yourself more than other people because they all focus on their own shit. So just focus on yourself and it'll all fall into place. You're not exalting because you're focusing on external things that you can't control. You have to do for self. Alright, hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'm Lee City. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.